We don't care what side of the park. You know, this park is split up. That side, this side.
Whether you was from one side to the other side, we had the same story, same struggle, same story, man.
So like, you know, once they get to know each other, we the hottest organization.
I see y'all, man. I see you. Guys, man, we are here in our second season now. This is our second season of, now it's a little bit different of our podcast, of our Dope Talk podcast. Today, unfortunately, my co-host, Jayla, she is sick, so, you know, I had to do it by myself. But it's our very first episode, and I'm honored here to be in Paseo Boricua in Humboldt Park here with my man's Adrian Rodriguez, which is the director of the violence prevention in Humboldt Park, and we're actually inside of Battle Bandera, right?
Yeah.
Battle Bandera, where they do a lot of the young kids are actually here. They train them how to do boxing. So we are here. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah,
well, I appreciate you being here with us and
thank you for coming.
just sharing the story, the story with us. So, man, let's get right to it, man. So how did you even end up here? How do you end up in the violence, being the director of the violence prevention?
4 years ago, so I'll give you a little background. I went to school for sports management, business school. So I was going into, I coached high school basketball, college basketball, going into the sports world. And I sat down with my executive director 4 years ago. I took a $20,000 pay cut. You know, that's very, I throw that number out there because, you know, money is a lot.
It's not easy to take
$20,000 cut. But he was like, I need you in Humboldt Park. You're from here, your story's here. You know, my family born and raised on the block right here, both, you know what I'm saying, all sides of the vision. And I took that leap of faith and started as a case manager. So I was just leading youth, getting them jobs, getting them back in school. And then I came, Jessie, shout out Jessie Fuentes, our older person.
Shout out Jessie, man.
She pulled me to the side and she's like, I want you to get in violence prevention. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know, I'm used to ceasefire and all that shit. Right. And I was like, man, let me hear it. I sat down with her, we talked. She's like, your story can lead people, to change their lives. And I took that leap of faith, and 4 years later, I become the director. Just grinding. Every year, I was telling everybody, they're like, damn, you're in a new position. But every year, I was getting in a better position. Getting closer to, becoming the boss of this, and just not even becoming the boss, but being the leader of the violence prevention program, being a face of PRCC, and leading by example for these kids.
That's what's up, man. And that's a good thing, man. That's one thing that I always stick to is we got to lead by example. Yeah. So it's just like, man, that's why since I've met you, it's just like I've always like, man, he has to be the first person that we actually interview, just because, man, we see all the positive things that you're doing here, man. You making it happen. I see these kids coming in and out all the time because obviously I'm your neighbor now, so God makes no mistakes now.
For sure.
God makes no mistakes. So I see all these kids in here. So what does actually Battle Bandera is here? These kids here, I see them boxing. What is actually this is?
So Battle Bandera is a boxing initiative under PRCC, Violence Prevention. This is literally a free program that we created. There was no funding for this. It's not like the city or state when it comes to.
So you guys created the PRCC between you guys?
Us. You guys. Jordan, shout out Jordan Geary, who's the lead coach here. It was a vision of just, we were renting a gym. Kids wanted to box. We were paying, X amount of money to rent a gym. Then we fundraised to just get workout equipment.
Right.
And then it's like, we could do our own gym.
Make your own.
Yeah, be our own bosses and kind of create our own business,
Environment,
so we made it happen, and we literally from the ground up, all of this is fundraising, grassroots, organizing, and we just made it happen. And now we have classes from 6 to 14 for youth, the small age, and then we got 14 to 24. And those 14 to 24 are the most at-risk youth. Those are kids that are coming out of juvenile, court, coming from the streets, gang affiliated.
So you guys go to these, let's say to the courthouses and stuff like that?
Yeah. So my team goes to court twice a week, where every time there's new kids come and catch a case, we're waiting for them. We right there, come check it out. We got a business, we got boxing programs, we got resources for you, you know what I'm saying? We bring them in here and then they never leave.
And then are you guys catching the grants coming in? Are you guys catching grants?
Yeah, so we now, under the violence prevention, we have 6 total grants. That ranges from youth programming, we have reentry, so guys coming out of prison, we have guys that did 50 years in jail, 47 years to be exact. And we're helping them reinstate into, the real world, and kind of, we help everybody.
So you guys are giving them jobs?
Helping them get jobs, giving them careers, or pathways to careers, getting them back in housing.
Man, that's what's up.
The way, you just don't prevent crime by stopping shootings. You prevent it by giving people resources
to not do it again.
So I tell people, if a kid doesn't have a house, doesn't have a job, he's more likely to get in trouble because he's outside riding in a car and
he's broke and he's trying to get some money.
And, you know, people always want to complain about these kids like, oh, why are they stealing hot cars and why are they stealing catalytic converters? I said, you steal 10 catalytic converters, that's probably $2,000. Come on now, like
for a kid, think about it like
that.
A lot of money.
You know what I'm saying? I came from waking up on Christmas Eve, like how the fuck am I get some money to feed? You know what I'm saying? So
especially
you know how we, you know, that mindset. You got to change that mindset.
You got to change it, and obviously that's the same thing like where I'm living at as far as like, you know, we trying to get these kids some jobs, something like that, trying to give them a different outsource because I know why I jumped out the porch. You know what I'm saying? Why I started doing what I was doing. We was broke. We didn't have no money. You know, we had
no guidance, no money. No.
You gotta. These kids don't have a place. They just looking for a place to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And man, you guys opening y'all doors to have this here is pretty dope, man. It's pretty nice.
And you know, like people, the word safe space. You know, I'm throwing out a lot of violence prevention words at you, but a safe space is a space that kids could come to. You know, that prevents them from getting in trouble. And here with the boxing, I always say like, we're gonna work you out so hard, you ain't gonna go want to do nothing.
You going home, go to sleep.
You go to sleep. You know, so like our job here is to really just train their mind, train their body, and get them, you know, ready for the real world.
So now that you say that, how important you think boxing is for these youth? Like, I know you guys have the vision. So what was the vision as far as like what is boxing does for these kids? Like,
there's a bunch of studies, I can't really quote them, that show that boxing just like transforms kids' lives. You learn discipline, you learn hard work, you learn like to achieve goals just by, you know, you preparing for a fight. You don't know what that opponent might look like, but you're training, you're fighting towards something, you know. So like we're giving them goals, we're giving them opportunity to do something more with themselves. So boxing is a tool to just like really like strengthen your
mind, strengthen your discipline and everything. This is dope. So how long have you guys actually been in here?
So the violence prevention, this is like our headquarters for violence prevention. We've been here 4 years, but it was an office, like I told you guys earlier. But we transitioned to a boxing gym 1 year ago. 1 year ago, we probably had 4 or 5 kids here. Like it was nothing how it looks now.
You guys got a lot of kids in here.
Since the documentary with WTTW, shout out WTTW with their Peacekeepers, documentary. We just got an Emmy nomination too.
Let's do it.
So, you know,
Let's do it. Congratulations, my brother.
The kids were coming out of Clemente, coming out of Campos, coming from the street, like, yo, this is the boxing program. Yo, you're Adrian, like I seen you, all this and that. So like we're getting all the right attention, you know, and it's bringing kids in. They're eager to learn. There was a kid up here waiting 10 minutes, like, you're Adrian, can I talk to you? You know, like they want it, you know.
So how did that even come about? The WTTW, how did that even come about?
Shout out my guy Max. So WTTW was looking to do peacekeeping documentaries throughout the whole city. This is their second time doing it. They did it about 20 years ago. So they wanted to re-bring it back, and Max Serta, who's a re-entry program manager for us, he got emailed. The director, Edgar Vargas, literally Googled violence prevention workers, and he's been doing it for over a decade, 20, 30 years. He popped up. So he sent them an email, and old dudes are scared of the camera. They're like, nah, I can't talk about none of that, bro. So he was like, I know you did podcasts before this, so they put me in a meeting. We met with like 12 different dudes, and everybody went around and told their story. The dude was like, I want you on there. You know what I'm saying?
So you got picked out of all 12
people. Some dudes, once they heard about, a little bit, they're like, nah, I'm gonna fall back. And it was just meant to be. I feel like,
And now look at you. Y'all wait for Andy. That's what's up, man. Because even whether you get it or not, that's still it's still there. You know what I'm saying? It's still there. That's what's up, man. That's a blessing.
A lot of opportunities from that documentary. We just did an event with WTTW last week at the Field House. So they're trying to get involved in Humboldt Park. So like we're just bringing resources.
Yeah, resources. And that's what's up, because you just opening the doors and letting them see what's really going on, and that's what's up actually in Humboldt Park doing this, man. You know what I mean?
Never had this.
Yeah, we definitely ain't never had
it.
And then it's like, and then they're having it by somebody from Humboldt Park, you know what I'm saying?
Which is what relates the most,
That's the thing. A lot of these kids don't want to listen to somebody that they don't think even knows what we're going on. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like I'm moving into that direction, because as far as like, we come from here. So it's just like, who else are they gonna really listen to? Some people that really came from here, and we making it different, and we showing them that, man, just because we came from it, we gotta keep the same mentality. You know what I'm saying?
So just like when we grew up, we seen dudes outside hustling, trying to support their family. We only saw a couple ways.
And that was our, that's what we emulated. That's what we emulated. That was the crazy part.
The documentary, like the biography or the description is me trying to change my family's legacy. You know, like my dad and my family, you know, ran the streets and you know, did a lot of bad shit, you know. So, you know, I started walking that path, and then after a while, you know, you don't want to live with trauma. You don't want to live with,
and it starts
you know,
with you.
It starts you know, I got kids now.
You got children. How many kids you got now?
2. I just had my newborn. Shout out Noah.
Yeah, okay,
shout out
congrats.
you know, I want to live by example. I don't want my kids to know anything about that shit. So, you know, lead. You know.
Yeah, you got to lead by example. And that's how I'm moving too. Cause I got sick, so you know, you got to make sure these kids is like, you know, you can't tell them nothing. Yeah. You can't tell them nothing you ain't living by. You know what I'm saying? Because especially they get to that age where they're like, man, what you doing? What you doing, man? How you gonna tell me? So
kids see fake from a mile away.
Yeah, you know? And they quick to tell you too. And they quick to tell you too.
Yeah.
So yeah, but okay. So as far as like this, what is your, not your end goal, but what is your vision in the long run? What do you see this as?
So I want to grow this program. I want to grow our other programs. So y'all gonna hear it first here. I am launching a production company with PRCC to teach kids how to write and direct film. Okay. So they're gonna be learning how to do their own documentaries. So we're gonna be doing that in 2026. And you know, we're just gonna give them more resources, more programming. We're gonna keep the boxing going. I want to get back. You know, I coach high school basketball and college basketball, like I said, for 15 years. So I want to create a basketball program, boxing program, film program. You know, and give them as much as
maybe we can get involved, do some podcasting program. Man, I'm with that. So that's what's up, man. So that's the long run.
Yeah, and also build a community center. So my end goal is to literally build this times 10. You know, like bigger and better. You know,
you got everything spaced out.
Yeah, you got classrooms, you got studio, you got the basketball gym, you got boxing gym. So this is just a small, you know, piece of
a big puzzle. Yeah. And honestly, it's like you see them in a lot of different neighborhoods, but you'll never see them right here. You don't see them in Humboldt Park.
You don't see it in Humboldt.
That's actually real cool. So that's your end vision. But as how do you balance as far as being a dad and being involved? Because I know you're really involved in doing this. How do you balance?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. You take it home with you sometimes.
Right. Because I know you do the violence prevention program.
So violence prevention is
kind of in the streets with it.
You want for them, you gotta be one for them, one for them. It's a word or a term called LTO, license to operate. If you ain't got that license to operate in the streets, kids are not gonna listen.
They don't respect you.
They don't respect you. They gonna ask the next nigga, hey, who is this dude? Yeah, what's up with him? You know, so you gotta give a little to get, you know, and it's hard to balance. I told you we got into we didn't get into a shootout, but it was a shooting that was happening during the documentary series. WTTW. We ducking and you know what I'm saying?
Crazy, so but it got real.
It's real. Violence prevention is real. You know, the boxing program is fun, it smiles, it's a lot of hard work. But when you gotta go set up a funeral arrangement for a family, or go sit down with a mother whose kid was stabbed up to death, you know, so it's a lot of trauma. But I heal from helping people heal. You know, like I from lived experience and all of that, seeing people pass away. The last 2 years, I done went to like 9-10 funerals just in friends and family. You know what I'm saying? So like it's a lot that comes with this job, and I'm just trying to build out the foundation so that you know other people could do this work that I do. Help. You know.
Yeah, and you teach by showing.
Teach by example.
And then my thing is like, cause I remember Ceasefire as growing up when I was in the street. So it's just like you guys do basically the same thing as far as like they used to help with the funeral arrangements and the parents couldn't do that.
We have case management, we have victim advocacy, legal advocacy. So if kids are catching cases, we going to court with them. If someone's getting shot, we pulling up to the hospital. We pulling up to the shooting. We don't talk to police. I'm gonna say that again. I'm gonna keep saying it every time.
It's a big one.
We don't talk.
It's a big one, especially if you're dealing with the streets.
You're dealing with the streets. They see, you know, nothing against police. My mom's a Cook County sheriff. You know, I got family that are police officers, but we don't talk about cases. We don't do none of that. We make sure we're there for the person who's dealing with that problem. You know, so.
And I think that's a big like that is a big stone because it's like especially people dealing with people from the streets is like how can I trust you if you talking to police?
You know that trust is the biggest thing. Kids ain't gonna respect you or listen to you.
Which is it's sad to say at the same time, but it's just like man, that's the code.
That's the code.
We came up on. So it's just like you gotta, like you said, you gotta give a little, get a little.
Yeah,
so it's just like,
you know, so it's a lot of work. But now, when I started, I was an outreach worker. I was the one pulling up. My first day, before I had a badge, a shirt, any kind of like equipment, everything, there was a double murder right here in West Humboldt. I had to pull up, you know, and people are looking at me like, who the hell are you? But you know, leading with faith, you know what I'm saying? God walked with me everywhere I go. And now I got a team. We got over 20 people that I supervise. So now I'm helping them pull up to a scene. Right. Now I'm helping my team help with
getting
cases.
through that.
Yeah.
Because I know, obviously, like, you know, especially coming from where we come from, you know you heard the riffraff people talk, oh man, dude, so, you know what I'm saying? You know how that goes. Yeah. So how you dealt with that?
I ignore it. You know, if I listen to everything everybody said, I'll have no hair. I'll be bald.
Exactly.
You know, you just gotta push it to the side. You gotta trust what, you know, you're doing the right thing. You know, and people are gonna talk, especially right now. We the hottest violence prevention program in the Humboldt Park area, in the north side, the west side, whatever you want to call it. You know, I got billboards with my face everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't let you get that at me. Don't let you get that at me, player. Don't let you get that at me.
I'm gonna be a different dude. I'm gonna be walking in a suit and tie right here every
hey man,
day.
can I holler at you, brother?
I'm gonna have an assistant, getting my coffee. You know what I mean?
Hey man.
But you know, it's just we the most talked about program because I'm a hustler. You know, you learn that hustle. So I'm getting grants. I'm on Springfield. I'm talking to legislators.
So you out there really grinding.
I'm grinding. I treat it like a hustle. You know, like my job. I tell people, my staff, if I don't grind this work, y'all not gonna have jobs. Right. You know, grants come every 2 years, 1 year. So I gotta be able to be in those rooms, those conversations. Yo, I need this, I need this, I need this, and you know, now we're looking to be set up even better next year to have more programming, more resources. Probably have 10 more staff by next year. Yeah, we growing. You know,
that's what's up, man. That's good. So it's like, man, I didn't even know that. So basically, you out there really grinding because it's a business. So you basically got to get the money in to be able to pay the staff, to get all these things, all these equipment. Because obviously, like you were telling me before, like this, you guys rigged it at first. Now you guys actually got a real ring.
Yeah. So we, you know, fundraised. I raised over $10,000 in the last 2 months just for the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all of this stuff that we're getting in is gonna be going right back to the kids.
And how do you actually do that? You talk. Like just talking?
That talk.
So
you know, making connections. So when I go to you know, meetings with other organizations, I'm explaining who we are, what we do. I always tell them, come visit so you can see it firsthand. You know, because you submit an application for a grant, they just see the name, they see whoever wrote the grant, they don't see.
They don't connect.
I'm setting that. I went to a city meeting and it was the director of reentry, and he's like, "Oh yeah, here's my card." I sent them an email right there. Here, boom. He's like, his assistant was like, "You don't waste no time." I said, "Why am I gonna waste time? I'm getting right to it. You know, I'm on it. I don't waste no time."
So for our viewers, if somebody like watching us and they like the story, they see what it is, and I hope you guys do. And they wanted to donate, they wanted to, hey, you know what I'm saying, support the cause. How can they do that?
Yeah, we got an Instagram, we got a GoFundMe page. I'll send y'all the link. We could throw the link.
We can put them on the live bio and all that stuff.
Put the link tree where you guys could donate. You can see the gym schedule. You can see the program details.
You can come see it themselves.
You could come in. I tell everybody that brings a kid, come watch first. You know, because these kids are working. It's a gym. It's high energy. So come in, sit down, watch the kids, see if it's something your kid might like, and then come back and, you know, bring them in. I don't want to set nobody up for failure. When I'm coaching, I'm a hard ass coach. I'm on your ass, you know. I don't, you know, and I come from a basketball background, so like I'm on you. I'm hard nosed, you know. So a parent might not like it, but hey, you want your son to succeed or your daughter to succeed?
Need some structure.
Let me push some
structure. You know? That's what's up. So do you deal with like, let's say, because I know you got different kids. Sometimes, you know, being from Chicago, people are from one side, the other. So do you guys deal with that? You guys deal with that too?
You know, some kids, I've had kids turn around. They, oh shit, walk out. You know what I'm saying? But what's going on? There ain't none of that going on in here.
Make them feel comfortable.
I tell everybody comes in here, you respect the gym. You know, we're gonna respect you. We don't care what side of the park. You know, this park is split up. That side, this side, that side. You know,
and we lead by example.
Exactly. You know,
we lead by example.
Both sides of the park
both sides of the park. We lead by example.
You know, we coming together and we make sure we can talk. And the problem with streets and gangs now is most of these kids kids never met each other.
But
they know it, but they beefing because of Instagram or Facebook, a comment, a sneak this, you know. So like, if y'all meet each other and get in the same room, you got more in common than you don't have in common.
Because you already got in. Most of us got that in common. We grew up here on the same. Whether you was from one side to the other side, we had the same story, same struggle, same story, man.
So you know, once they get to know each other, we the hottest organization.
I see y'all, man. I see.
We went to a basketball tournament. They hit us up like, "Hey, bring some kids from the boxing gym to go hoop." But we went and spanked everybody, undefeated. Literally, I had kids. We had a Mexican, a Venezuelan, a black, a Puerto Rican. 3 different gangs on the team, and you know, people make ignorant comments. Y'all let these Mexicans beat you. I'm like, no, ain't no Mexicans. We got a whole squad full of everything, you know. And guys from all over the city that come, and we came and, you know, won that tournament. They gave us food. We got trophies, you know. So building that up, that y'all can do it together. You know what I'm saying? That's our biggest message.
Okay, cool, man. So you guys, before we leave, you guys got any events, anything that you want to at least plug in? And let, you know what I'm saying, at least like I said, like the viewers at least see, like, come see, or you guys got any events you guys are going to?
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing Haunted Paseo, which is Halloween Day. It'll be right here in front. We set up again. We Puerto Rican engineer. We build a haunted house right next door. And we built. So I told them, once we get some more money, we're gonna make it 2 floors, you know, make something real nice. But we put the whole empty lot. We get a bunch of little mask costumes, and the kids are screaming their asses off. And they keep coming right back. They go
coming in and out.
So like this spot right here, right next to your restaurant, is gonna be activated. We do a little pop up, and we just have fun. You know,
man. Y'all heard it.
Yeah,
y'all heard it. So you're gonna have haunted.
And also look forward to. We did a fight night in here where we're raising funds for the gym, where we have our kids box, and we just have the chairs out where everybody can see, you know, the hard work that they've been doing get shown in the gym, and you know, little Friday night fights, fundraising.
So you guys do that often?
We did it once. We raised like $800-900 in that one night. So we're gonna do them every 2 months. Okay. You know, when winter comes, everything's inside, so we'll be setting one up for the winter.
Y'all be on the lookout, because we definitely gonna shout it out. We're gonna put it on our page. We're gonna put it on all that. You know what I'm saying? We with the positive, and man, we actually appreciate you opening the doors for us. Actually being here, man. I love everything that you're doing here, man. We came from the same park, and I just see it. Just, you know what I'm saying? We gravitated to each other just off just the same struggle and off what we pushing for. You know what I'm saying? What we pushing. So I appreciate you opening the doors for us, man. For real.
Yes,
man, congratulations on everything you're doing, brother.
Yeah. Shout out, season what? Season 2?
Season 2, baby.
Season 2, check it out, man. Check it out.
Hey, this is Meet the Neighbors, and then y'all be on the lookout for plenty more neighbors, but be on the lookout for season 3 when we actually got the studio and we sitting in there. My man's is coming through. We gonna do it again, man. We're gonna do it all over again, all right? So, man, y'all already know, man. This dope talk, where the talk is always real, baby. Let's do it.